Hey guys, all right, this is a short video for both my PsyA01, my Introduction to Psychology course, but also PsyC85, my History of Psychology course. So I'm teaching both of these courses this summer, and both of you are doing online office hours with me using the Blackboard Collaborate tool. I've used this a little bit in the past, but never as much as I did now. And I was struck by something really odd that was been happening when I've been talking to you guys. And that is, overwhelmingly, you choose not to have your video on. At first, I thought this was maybe you were embarrassed by how you looked. Maybe you hadn't showered for a while. Etc. It was a little puzzling because in all of my professional interactions, whenever we have an online meeting, all video cameras are on. And it's important. And so here's what I want to suggest to you. Let me tell you why it's important. Let's forget about school context for a second and just think about a more professional context. When you're having an interaction, like let's say there's a group of you working on some problem or involved in some committee, and you're all getting together to talk through something. Imagine you're presenting some ideas. Some of them might be great ideas. Some of them might not be such good ideas. When you're presenting, you like to know people are listening, for one thing. And how do you know that? Well, you know that when you present that idea, you see reactions on faces, right? You see some people go, other people go, whatever. You get some feedback from the other people, and that feedback tells you that they're listening to what you're saying and thinking about what you're saying. And then when it's their turn to kind of give their perception on things or their position, then, well, you are supposed to be paying attention to them, listening to what they're saying, thinking about it, and letting them see that through your reactions. That's where the human connection comes, is through these responses, through these reciprocal interactions. And that really tells everybody involved that, we're all thinking through something together. We're all working through something together. This is an important skill. When you are interviewed in the future, especially after the COVID situation, there's a fairly good chance you will be interviewed digitally using something like Zoom. And there will be a committee of people, and there will be you, and you will have your camera on. And if you've developed these skills of interaction, and I'm going to call them visual attention in a digital space, if you're showing proper visual attention cues, that's one of the things they're looking for, because they want people who are going to listen and think and come up with ideas and work with others. When I was puzzling about why you guys weren't turning on your video camera, I eventually came to the answer. And it just kind of shocked me that I hadn't thought about it sooner. But that's because you guys have grown up in a world where you're always trying to do 4 things at once, or always trying to at least monitor 4 things at once. Your social media networks, your whatever. And so I now realize the reason students weren't turning on their video camera for the most part was because they didn't want to have me watch them while they were not paying attention, which makes sense. You don't want people watching you while you're not paying attention. It's actually disrespectful, to be quite honest. And so, yeah, if you're not going to pay attention, then keep your video camera off. But what I would put to you is this. If you want to get good at those sort of human interactions, then you need to practice them. It's a skill. It's a skill like any other. Where do you practice them? Here's what I suggest to you. Office hours. View these office hours as a chance to practice the idea of connecting with other humans in a digital space, but in a rich, deep human way. So, I'm not going to force anybody to do this, and the last thing I want to do is to drive anybody away from office hours. So let me just say clearly, if you want to come to office hours and you don't want to turn on your camera, and you want to just quietly sit in the background or ask questions without your camera on, you are welcome to do so. I'm not saying don't do that, but here's what I am saying. It's a good opportunity to practice. So if you're willing, then come to office hours. If you need to shower first to be presentable, if you need to do whatever, use that as an opportunity, because you're going to do that for an interview or whatever as well, right? So do whatever you have to do to make yourself feel comfortable about how you look. I mean, look at me. I'm in a t-shirt right now. Raptors, go Raptors. That's back when they existed. I'm not worried about how you look is what I'm saying, but I would like to see you guys. And when we're talking, I would love to be able to see your faces and see your reactions. And when you're talking, I would love to be able to see your face. And I think this is a good opportunity for you to realize how hard it can be to log on to a meeting and only have that meeting in the foreground. Don't be distracted by other things. Plug in for half an hour or an hour with a few other human beings talking about something. That's my challenge to you. So it's, again, not a commandment by any means. Do what you want, but I just recommend that you don't often get opportunities to practice things like this in a safe, comfortable environment. And I like to think my class is a safe, comfortable environment. So use it. Give it, see it as an opportunity to practice. Okay, cool. I will leave you with that. Hope to see you in office hours, and you know when they are, and if you don't, check the syllabus. Everyone's welcome. All right, bye-bye.